Greetings, dear ones. I'm Drax16 and thank you for joining me for another video. Today's video is about Islam and my former life as a Muslim, because though I've been a Christian for 7 years, before that I was a Muslim for 6 years. And, even though I don't practice Islam anymore, it still has a pull on me. It's still part of my thought process. I mean, I still um, eat with my right hand primarily, which is what the Prophet Muhammad did. I still sleep on my right side, which is something that Muhammad instructed his son in law to do, Ali. And, I still relieve myself sitting down, which is something that Muhammad's wife said that Muhammad did. He would squat whenever he urinated. So I do all these things, but I did it like unconsciously. I wasn't making the conscious decision, okay, I'm going to still imitate Muhammad even though I'm a Christian. No, no, no. These were things that were happening to me. I was just doing them out of habit. And I still do them out of habit. I still do eat with my right hand. I still only, shake hands with my right hand. So it's not that I'm making the conscious effort to be like a Muslim. It's just a matter of I was doing these things anyway, and it's just a habit. I do it so often that I don't even think about it. It's just a habit. But really, if Islam was to stand on its own merits, it would be gone overnight, because it's all about, they always say that death can occur at any time, which I suppose is true, but they always want you to commit quickly, 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 take the shahada. Um, but it doesn't have the same amount of evidence as Christianity does. For example, we know that Jesus existed. We know, I mean, they believe that he existed as well, but we know that he was crucified. We know that he performed many miracles. We know that he was resurrected, and other Bible stuff like we know that Nineveh existed. We know that the prophet Isaiah existed because there's a coin that date. In fact, this book right here, Unearthing the Bible, is an excellent source for stuff like that. There's a link in the description if you want to check it out. I always, recommend books to my viewers so that they can catch up on the stuff that I'm quoting. And anyways, we know that Nineveh existed. We know that the Exodus happened, that when the Israelites were rescued by Moses, the prophet, and his brother Aaron. But you see, I took part in Taraweeh. I took part in the Salah. I paid my zakat. I said the Shahada. I fasted during Ramadan. And I just felt more alive as a Muslim. But now that I'm a Christian, I have peace now, but I don't really have happiness. I mean, I do believe that my path, the Pentecostal Christian faith, is biblical. I do believe that it's biblical, but I had a more fun time when I was a Muslim. And one of the passages that the Lord reminded me of is where Jesus said, "Remember Lot's wife, the wife of Lot. She God told Lot, his wife, and his family to leave the city of Sodom and to not look back. And Lot's wife looked back, and that was the end of it. She turned into salt. God punished her because she looked back. And I don't think she just looked back necessarily, but she longed to go back. So I ask you, dear ones, is that you? Have you looked back at, in my case, it's Islam, but maybe you're from some other religion, or maybe you used to be an atheist or an agnostic, or maybe you've been a Christian your whole life and you find yourself tempted to go back to something that you used to do, going back to, pornography, or going back to, the emergent church kind of a movement or whatever. So, yeah, anyone who who loses his life for my sake will find it, Jesus said. So, though I do feel desires to go back to Islam, in my heart I want to stay a Christian. And there's always an inner struggle going on in my mind between Islam and Christianity. Part of me wishes that Islam was true, because if you took all of the love that's present in Christianity and multiplied it by 1,000, it would only be equal to a small speck of the love that's in Sufism, which is the path that I used to follow. I was a Sufi Muslim. There are three denominations of Islam: Sunnism, Shiism, and Sufism. These people are called Sunnis, Shia, and Sufis. And there's far more of a, how do I say this? More of like a consensus, like there's more unity in Islam because there's only three denominations in there. And some people don't even consider Sufism to be a denomination at all. Some of them just say, well, it's just the inner part of Sharia. It's the inner part of Sunnism, or it's the inner part of Shiism. But, you know, still, we have more than enough evidence that Jesus was who he said he was, which is God. We have the Bible. We have archaeology to back us up. Um, so I don't want you to, you know, if you're a Muslim and you're watching this video, I would ask you to just take about a week off. And if you want to pray Salat during that week off, that's fine. Whatever, you do your thing. But take a week off where you sever yourself completely from that religion and see how you feel after that. If you want to pray your Salat, that's fine. But take a week off and just ask yourself at the end of that week, am I really just believing in this religion? Am I really believing this? Am I really feeling this way? Or is this just how I'm being influenced to feel? Because some, Mormonism and stuff like that, they just go based on feelings. And Hinduism as well, it's all about feelings. And, well, what does your heart say? And, why don't you just pray if this book is true or not? Ugh. Since when was your heart the guiding factor of what's true and what's not? The book of Jeremiah, I was just reading the book of Jeremiah yesterday, and I came across a verse that said, um, the heart is wicked and deceitful above all things. Who can know it? And I think it's the book of Proverbs that says that a man who trusts in his own heart is a fool. So it's not enough to just feel a certain way. I don't want you to become a Christian just because it feels right. I want you to examine the evidence. Don't believe in something just because I say it. Believe in it because it's scriptural and historical and backed up by evidence. And then believe in it. But I'm fully confident that reading the Bible will lead someone to Christ. I'm fully confident that checking out archaeology, biblical archaeology, will lead you to Christianity. I have full confidence in the Holy Spirit to convict his people. And it's tremendously reassuring that I can just portray whatever I want in a video and let the Holy Spirit go to work. Sorry, I have a bit of a cold. Anyways, so, and the writer of the book of Hebrews he or she was writing that letter to Christians who were tempted to go back to Judaism. And one of the things he drives home again and again and again is that there's nothing to go back to. There's nothing to go back to in Islam because Muhammad contradicted the Quran. He had more than 4 wives, and he said that anyone who leaves Islam must be killed, which contradicts the Quran's message that there is no compulsion in religion. I'm not sure how to say that in Arabic, but I know that it's in the Quran, though. So yeah, there's nothing to go back to. You who are Christians and are tempted to go back to what you were before, there's nothing to go back to. Anyways, dear ones, thank you for joining me for this video. I hope that all of you have a beautiful day. God bless you.